there, lovely listeners, and welcome back to Reasons to Care, the podcast all about heartwarming stories and making a difference with diverse abilities, Dorset's disability charity. I'm Claire, one of the managers in the children's team.
And I'm Kat, head of marketing and events, and I'm just stepping in for Michelle, who's had a change to her role.
Getting in front of the microphone instead of being the producer, Kat. And we've got Alex Bradford joining us this month, who is our outdoor learning lead at the Treehouse.
Obviously, Alex is part of your team, so you know him quite well, and I've chatted to him a bit in the office, but it'll be really interesting to find out more about what he actually does. And of course, if you're inspired about working in care listening to the podcast, don't forget you can check out our career vacancies online at any time at diverseabilities.org.uk/careers.
So Alex, thank you ever so much for joining us today. Would you like to tell us a little bit about your background of what you were doing before you joined us at the Treehouse?
So I worked for another outdoor learning company out in Hampshire, based in the New Forest. We work with children in care and children that were just struggling in mainstream education. And they would come out to our site and we would plan activities around sort of helping them learn to regulate themselves and just sort of help make their lives a little bit easier to process.
So, but before you worked there, you actually had worked for us for a little bit, hadn't you? As crew.
Yes.
In short breaks.
Done a few summer holidays and stuff like that.
But I guess your passion has obviously always been about outdoor learning and being outside, hasn't it?
Yeah, I was studying that sort of stuff.
Yeah, because I think basically when I explain what we do as the outdoor learning to everyone, I'm like, Alex is just the outdoor guy in my head. And I don't want to massage your ego too much, I will say. But in my head, you're basically Bear Grylls.
That is what we call him in the office.
That's fine then.
We're
that's
like, it's Diverseability's very own Bear Grylls.
Yeah. Be taken over the world. You have a TV programme in no time.
He's always trying to convince us to go and eat lunch around the fire. And
oh, that does sound sweet though. I'll do that with you, Alex.
We are going to do it, aren't we? We said we're going to have lunch.
I made everyone hot dogs in the crew the other day.
You did make us all hot dogs.
Yeah, okay, I'm bribed. I'll be there. Look, if they say no, just come upstairs because we all like food in the office.
So obviously we've known about you for a really long time because you also used to attend Coping with Chaos as part of your family, didn't you? So
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So your brother, well, both your brothers have attended short breaks, and then your youngest brother goes to Lily's place as well. So Alex has been kind of part of the family of Diverseabilities for a really, really long time. And I obviously knew that he was really into outdoor learning. And actually, we went on a session once, didn't we?
Nick's farm.
To Nick's farm. And were you on the forest school session that I went on?
Probably.
Yeah. And it was the first
you were
time.
It's forest school, I'm there.
Yeah, I would probably.
Whether you want me to work it or not, I'm coming.
Yeah.
And it was the first time I'd ever been to a forest school. And I'd always tried to convince everybody that we needed a Diverseabilities farm because there's so much research and great work that can happen between that therapy with animals and children with disabilities. So I was like, we need a farm. And then I went to forest school and I was like, actually, we need some woods. That's what we need.
Just a small forest. Couple of llamas.
So yeah, I started talking to you about it, and then you went off and got your real job and had to leave us.
I'll get my violin out for you.
No, I came back for Awesome Nights. So
yeah, you kind of kept your toe in the water, didn't you? And I'll do a bit of Awesome Nights and a few bits and pieces and stuff until we opened the Nature Nook. And then Alex applied for the job role here and was successful.
And here you are now. Must be coming up for a year?
No.
6 months.
I started in Easter, however many months ago that was.
Easter, April.
Yeah.
Nearly 6.
Yeah.
That's flown by.
Yeah.
That's gone really quickly. What is it about your role that you kind of enjoy the most? If there is one thing. If it's not just setting fires.
Setting fires is pretty good fun, but I have my little kingdom out there. A lot of free.
It's got thrown.
I mean, you're often spotted walking around with a giant staff. But I'm surely the Gandalf beard is on its way at some point.
If I could grow, I'd have grown one by noon. But yeah, no, it's nice having a bit of a clean slate of space and sort of building it up and seeing which activities the children that we have in the area are drawn to and sort of building up the area, focusing on that, digging big holes for them to play with mud and stuff like that.
I mean, it does sound like a child's dream.
Yeah. And I think that for me was really lovely to be able to offer somebody that, to come into a clean slate. I mean, I love being outside, but I didn't really know what does a outdoor learning environment look like. Yeah, what does it need? And I think must have been really nice for you, Alex, to come in and
Make it your own.
Put your stamp on it, which you absolutely really have. I mean, you've kept us all eating veg over the last few months.
Yes, delicious vegetables.
Yeah, a lot of beans.
A lot of beans.
Yeah, the beans are nice. They were the beans that we're growing out there at the moment are beans I harvested from a previous garden when I was working with a different child. So they're sort of second generation beans.
Like full circle, which is incredible.
Which is quite nice. We grew them, preserved them, and then he took some and I took some. We set up a new garden with them. So.
And we have potatoes
as
well this year. What are we growing at the minute?
At the minute, we got some cabbage in the ground and some rainbow chard. We're just drying off the broad beans. We've got a load of rhubarb that's shooting up as well, and some different types of onions. And then we're just going to clear out the corn, which got picked apart by the birds. Naturally, can't win them all. But we're going to take those out, and I'm going to put in some garlic in a month or so to grow over winter.
So how does that fit in? Because obviously I'm here as a marketing head. I don't actually work in care. So how does that feed into the kind of sessions that you're running and the active, like, is it kind of the sensory things and the planting things and the learning things?
Yeah, so it all sort of ties in together in outdoor learning. We don't necessarily run activity sessions. We sort of just run sessions with activities, lots of different things on offer that people can jump between as they want. It often starts as just playing games, and then they go and they like digging and they like getting filthy. So we might bring in a gardening element where they can get filthy, but then they can also help me with some chores as well and weed the area. And then if they like doing that, then they'll go to the mud kitchen and get muddy, and I'll pick some beans from the plants and some seeds, and I'll show them. They'll mix them in, and I'll tell them that if we left their creations, it would actually grow some food. And then we'll go over and they'll help me with the garden, and we set different things up. And most of them like just plucking the caterpillars off of the leaves, which helps me, but then they get to do bug hunting as well, so that works for them as well.
I think the thing I really love most about the Nature Nook is it's really child-led, isn't it? So it really is up to the child what they want to do at that moment, for how they're feeling, whether they're sensory seeking, whether they need some quiet space. We had a young man over summer holidays, didn't we? And he just dug a hole for 2 hours. And he is one of our more challenging children who on sessions we really struggle to engage. But everybody said how calm he was and how engaged he was. And that was literally just
He's
digging
found his purpose.
a hole for 2 hours. But he had the best time, didn't he? And the photos were incredible. He looked so happy.
I feel like it is one of those like flow state activities. Like you get into it and you're like, I'm going to dig the best hole I've ever dug.
And then you've dug trenches and run hose pipes into the trenches.
The children dug the trenches. Yeah. I was letting them play. It was a hot day, so I just turned the sprinkler on and let them run through it. Then they were digging out the hole and using the mud for the mud kitchen and bits and stuff. One of them decided that they were going to build a little river to put the hose pipe in so all the water would flow into the hole. Then they filled it up and made a little swimming pool to crouch in. And they were just wallowing around, sort of like little baby hippos, just chilling out, which was quite cute.
I feel like nothing brings children more joy than mud.
It's pretty great.
There's some excellent pictures of just kids covered in mud, beaming, that are just so lovely.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Really nice.
So obviously we've got the Nature Nook and we're building it, you're building it. So do you want to tell us about the different sessions that we're currently running?
Yeah, so we've got on weekdays term time, we have our little seedlings and our home ed group. We started them just before summer holidays, sort of gauge interest and run some trial sessions. And they were quite popular, especially the home ed group. And we're restarting them properly up this week. Yeah, so the little seedling group is our sort of toddler group, and it's just about sort of rolling and climbing over mud and tires and sitting in hammocks and just sort of getting young'uns used to being outside and just feeling a bit more at ease, sort of indoctrinating them early to getting a bit filthy and not worrying about stingers and all that sort of stuff.
And that isn't just for children with SEN, is it?
No.
That's open to anybody.
Yeah, no, everybody should be getting out, getting muddy. So
Yeah.
open to anybody that wants to come along. And then we have our home ed group, which, as I say, is one of our more popular things. I had a couple of emails this morning about inquiries. Yeah, that's, again, it's open to anyone, not just people that are out of mainstream school, but if they're part-time mainstream or if they're fully out, basically anybody who's not happening to be in school that day, SEN or no, more than welcome to come along, meet other children, meet other teenagers, and just sort of engage and play and maybe learn a thing or two about how to use tools and build stuff and use axes and light
I
fires.
mean, yeah, you just drop that in so subtly. Like, just use axes, you know.
It's only a
You
little
have them
axe.
like chopping the firewood and stuff, don't you?
Well, I don't want to chop it myself, it takes time. But they enjoy it. It's good for their motor skills. It's good for their hand-eye coordination. It helps them get a sense of achievement as well when you get a fire going and you light the cotton wool and then it goes out and they're obviously disappointed because it goes out immediately. But then you give them, well, you don't just give them the axe, you show them how to use it. But
Here you go, child.
you let them cut their firewood and you get a fire going. You can cook marshmallows or you can boil water, and then it's a lot more gratifying for them. It's all about sort of controlled risk and allowing children to fail, because if they don't fail first, then they'll just think it's easy and they'll brush past it without actually learning the skills.
And I suppose it also builds that bit of resilience, because actually in life we don't always pick things up straight away. We have to learn that resilience, don't we, to be able to keep trying and trying till we get things right.
Yeah, I was always the kid that if I couldn't do something straight away, that's it, I'm not interested.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a little bit like that.
Yeah,
No,
like,
I
it's
can't
not
pick it
meant for
up.
me. No.
Knitting's my current thing.
Oh my God, I love it.
No, I've tried it like 2 or 3 times. I'm like, no, can't do it. It's
No,
gone
not
back in a
for me.
box. So yes, we all need to learn some resilience.
And I definitely can't light a fire. Like
I'm pretty good actually.
I mean, I can do a barbecue with a fire lighter, but I don't think I can do the whole
You've got to
cotton
build
wool
like a
flint
triangle,
thing.
haven't you? With
Yeah,
the
well, there's
sticks.
lots of different ways of doing it.
I'm gonna have to join. I'm gonna
it.
have to join Alex's fire school.
Yeah, you'll have to come for lunch.
Come out for dinner with the rest of the team.
Exactly. So obviously, a lot of what you do is giving children access to fire and axes. How do you even begin to risk assess and things like that, or how do you even get into that?
So we risk assess everything when you're especially using tools very thoroughly. Tools they're presented as even the staff, any staff that come and help me, they all go through a sort of mini training program where I quiz them about the tools and show them how they're used and get them to do it with each other as if they were children, trying to teach each other. And the important thing is that we use tools, we don't use weapons.
I like that line. That's a
Yeah,
good line.
and that's always the last question I ask them just before I hand it over. I go, so is this tool or a weapon? If they say weapon, they don't get the tool. And then I was like, nope, this is a tool. The difference being that weapons used to hurt people, tools are used to create things and build things, fix things.
That's such simple logic. I really like.
Yeah.
But that sort of drills in a lot of sort of safety stuff for them in their own head, because if a child is holding a knife and is thinking this is a weapon, they're more likely to wave it around, be silly, which increases the risk. Whereas if they're doing it to whittle a wooden sword that we're doing carefully, we're not making really sharp, then it's a lot safer for them. But obviously a lot of our tools are one-to-one, so I or another trained staff will just be watching them, guiding them from a safe distance and making sure that the area around them's clear and everything like that. So there are some tools that can be used in a sort of larger ratio, but that's only once a child has sort of gained, I don't know the word, but gained a sort of ability with it where they've shown time and time again that they are able to use the tool and they're able to use it safely.
They understand it and they know the rules. That's good.
Yeah,
I like that.
It's all basically it's all very carefully done. It's always a slow progress, but it means that they gain a respect for the tool, and then some of the older ones learn to maintain the tools after that as well. So teach them to sharpen the tools and oil them and fix handles and that sort of stuff, make new ones.
It's so practical.
I know.
And you're like, where is this in like any
He's
education?
also really handy to have on site.
Yeah, I bet.
Because of, obviously we have a lot of wildlife, and there is like obviously a natural cycle with wildlife.
Yes.
So Alex is the grave digger. So if we find an animal that needs to be buried, we're like, Alex, can you just come and get the rabbit?
Yeah, well, they all deserve a nice little burial.
Yeah, he just takes them off and gives them a little burial.
Well, I remember once, because our office, for those who don't know, is based upstairs in the treehouse, and I went out onto our storage balcony, I suppose you could call it, and a bird flew at me.
Yeah.
And I just stuck my head over the back and went, Alex, there's a bird. It never really, like, I wouldn't know where to start in catching a bird in a building, a small building, let alone a building of this size. But to then, like, you just do it so easily. Like,
I know. I was
total
like,
show-off energy. But
this is
I
going to
love
take
it.
hours. The first time there was a bird in here that I had to get rid of, it took me hours and it was not pleasant. Like, I didn't really know how to do it. Alex just cornered it and picked it up and took it outside. And I was like, oh, is
Just
that
make
how
it
it's
look
done?
so easy.
Because it's not how I did it.
I'd be like, right, where's a net? How do I even begin? Do I shout at it to go out a window?
Yeah, no, I didn't want to be inside it. It's just that it snuck in and do it the same as a chicken. You just hold their wings down. And
It's just the same as the chicken.
Yeah.
You know.
yeah,
I don't think I've ever caught a chicken either.
we used to have pet chickens, so it's
Okay, that makes more sense.
enough.
That makes more
I
sense.
had enough fun as a child chasing around the garden.
Your backstory is beginning to make a lot more sense now to me.
Yeah. So that I guess is a really good kind of point to go on to. So we do this podcast obviously because we want to show that there's lots of different avenues of recruitment or job roles within care. And being a outdoor learning lead is not a typical role that you would associate for working with a care company or a charity. So for you, I'm guessing you never saw yourself ending up in this kind of role when you were looking at your future career options.
Yeah, so I went to Kingston Moorwood. I went as a 19-year-old. I went back to
So that's
college.
like an outdoor learning college, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's the I mean it's the best, but it still sits like big outdoor learn. Well, just outdoor. You can learn blacksmithing. You can learn
there's like agriculture and all sorts. Yeah.
Horticulture. My teacher was Brian Heppenstall. We studied wildlife ecology and conservation. I just did it for a year, but it was great fun. With a sort of aim that I would go into ranger work with, various sites around, because we do live in such a lovely area with lots of need for ranger work and stuff like that. And volunteered at Upton Country Park for that year as well, a couple of days a week, which was part of the course, but it was really, really good fun. And following my studies, I went on to just take some work as a landscaper. And whilst I was sort of interviewing with different places, and I sort of on a whim came across outdoor learning being offered, and I was sort of like, well, obviously I love being outside, I love working outside, and I worked with diverse abilities for a long period of time at that point, and so I was kind of like, yeah, it's kind of best of both worlds. I'll give it a shot. Always wanted to work out in the New Forest, and yeah, 1.5, 2 years later, I was really enjoying it, and had sort of learned a whole bunch of new stuff. Started my forest school qualification when there was talk about this position opening up, and
You were like, hello, remember me?
I was basically, yeah, I was just like, yeah, I'm back.
Yeah. If you do this, I could help you.
And I will say the children absolutely love you. We've got Lily who works in the office, and her son has just been in today, saw Alex and was like, Alex outside. And he wanted Alex to take him outside. And Lily's daughter wants a birthday party out there. And Lily was like, well, I could do the birthday party. No, I want Alex to do it.
Yeah.
And you've got Fran's nephew who talks about Alex all of the time.
And like Becky and my team, her kids came to the holiday club that we do at Nature Nook, and she'd already signed them up for some other activities elsewhere throughout the summer holidays, and they'd be like, no, Nature Nook, I want to go to Nature Nook. And she's like, I've made this problem for myself now. I've already signed you up for these other things. But they have absolutely raved about it, which is lovely.
So for you, I think it's given you, I guess, the best of both worlds. You get to be outside, but your skill set is, really strong skill set in working with young people as well. So
yeah, no, it's like a nice little crossroads between
Yeah.
between the two things.
And it was very amusing the other week on the last holiday session when I was upstairs on our balcony and you were literally the first one with your shoes off in the soft play.
It was really raining and the building was empty, and I was like, do you want to treat the kids to bringing them inside? Because normally you'd just be outside all weathers, wouldn't you?
The end of summer, so we figured why not give them a treat.
We were like, let them come in, and Alex was first one in, last one out.
One charging in.
Had to make sure it was safe now.
Oh, of course, yeah. Excuses.
Yeah.
So, should we do our pre-jar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shall I go first?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so I've got, I think this one might be an adult's one. One of the ladies we support getting involved in fundraising in her own way by setting up crafting events to do the diamond painting with her friends.
Oh, now, I actually know who submitted this. Because
that's good.
Yeah. Because I help them work out the logistics.
Okay.
Of how it all works. So basically, she wanted to kind of do exactly that. She wanted to raise some money, and she really likes doing diamond painting. So she got a few kits, and a few of the other adults in supported living came over, and they stuck a movie on, did that, and then raised some money, which was really sweet.
And patience.
Yeah.
I do not have the patience for diamond painting either.
No, I've tried it.
No, it's not.
I've tried it. I've done it. That's done. So, right, the one I've got here, it looks like it's a children's one, is Limitless. So, working together with Popwell to provide SEN club nights in Bournemouth. Everyone has an amazing time and the atmosphere is incredible.
That's definitely
Which is
us.
really true.
It is really true.
I got to come along and it was so much fun.
So we were really, really lucky that Popworld actually reached out to us and said, so the general manager was originally from a different area and he'd run club nights at the Popworld venue in Milton Keynes. Then he'd moved to Bournemouth and wanted to do exactly the same again because he wanted to give something back and give a charity the opportunity to raise money. So thank goodness for Google, because
thank you, that means I'm doing my job well.
He put in disability charities in Dorset, Bournemouth, or whatever, and we were the first one to come up. So he emailed us and instantly I was like, we need to get a meeting with him. Let's go now. We are not sitting on this. We need to be first in. So we arranged to go and meet him, and yeah, he's been absolutely incredible. He gives us the venue for free. So it means that all we have to pay for is like a DJ and staff time to be there. We sell the tickets at fairly sort of low cost, but it means that we can use it as a bit of a fundraiser. But aside from that, it is just amazing to be able to give these young people an opportunity for the experience of going to a nightclub. Yeah. And when I say it feels like you are in a nightclub, that sounds ridiculous, but it really does, because there's like a group of them that come every time, that stand at the bar doing Jaeger bombs with each other. And I love it because they're like, I call them like my boys, because I used to look after them at Project when I first started, like 2012. They were my Project boys. So they all knew each other from Project and then like have lost touch along the way, gone their different ways, and then they all turned up to our Limitless and met up again and were at the bar doing shots. And I just thought, like, how incredible is it that we've been able
to kind of enable that
real safe space where you've got staff that are trained. So if something was to go wrong, you know, we've got that behaviour management training, we've got epilepsy training, first aid training. So it's a really safe space for people to come and just experience
going out.
And our DJ that we use is amazing, DJ Mitch. He has a learning disability himself. So we are making it absolutely, truly what I feel is inclusive. And yeah, it's amazing opportunity for us to raise money, but equally an amazing opportunity
to provide.
to provide something that is completely missing. And I've been told recently, so Portfields, which is a local school to us, their post-16 unit come along every time. They all come together.
Brilliant.
And recently on their social media, they all had cards they were holding up. My favourite thing is, and then the children were writing on there what their favourite thing is.
So sweet.
And one of them was, my favourite thing is Limitless Nights at Pop World.
Oh.
And we were like, oh my God, we've done it. We've done it. So, yeah, which is incredible that it's, you know, it's being seen as people's like favourite night out.
To be fair, it's probably my favourite night out.
It's a great night out.
Yeah.
I've only done it a couple, but it's my favourite night out. So yeah, amazing.
And we're going to put you on the spot, Alex. What happy moments have you had probably over the summer that's kind of something that really stands out to you as like, oh, that was a really great day, or that was a really fun thing to do, even if it's like something tiny?
It's always fun when a child like asks to do fire lighting and then they struggle, which makes me sound really mean, but when they struggle with it and then they sort of keep going, and then you do the whole, would you like a hand? And they're like, no, I've got it. And then they finally do manage to get it, and they're all really happy and everybody cheers, which is really nice. We also had the opportunity to have at the start of the summer a bunch of children from staff members throughout the charity. They came with their children, and so it was the first time the Nature Nook was sort of full, and everybody was like crammed in, and that was really nice as well. Just to sort of see the area like being used, being sort of explored and everything like that. That was really amazing. We had our family fun day recently, and we unfortunately had some quite rainy weather.
The one day of rain in all of August.
One day of rain, and it poured down, and everybody came running under the tarp that I have up in the Nature Nook. And
my conveniently placed tarp.
Yeah, a conveniently placed tarp over my fire area. And but I had clay, and there was just something quite fun about just everyone like crammed in a big circle under here with all the children sat around the fire pit with their clay trying to make models and stuff, just waiting for the rain to break and all just making the best of it, all just sort of playing together. And
yeah, I feel like that's one thing, like as a team, particularly in short breaks, obviously working now closer with you, all of your ability to make the most out of a situation is phenomenal, really.
Yeah, I always say to people, like, I think sometimes you get like a new supervisor and they'll say, I just don't know if I can do this. Like, what if something goes wrong? And I always say to them, believe in yourself, because you have the knowledge, you have the skills.
You've been appointed supervisor for a reason.
Exactly. You've got a toolbox full of things that you can use. When something goes wrong, just think on your feet and just do it, because we've got it all there. And that was a great example, because that day when it just rained, I'd literally just sat down and put my foot up to ice it. And Amy came on the walkie-talkie, she's like, we've got a problem. And I was like, yeah. And I looked out the window and I was like, oh, I'll put my shoe on, I'm coming. And the heavens opened, didn't they?
Yeah, I was working from home that day and I looked out the window and I thought,
it was only the last hour, so it was fine. We made the best of it. We moved inside, and yeah. But I think what you were saying about the Nature Nook that day, where all the staff came and it was really busy and full of children, for me, that felt like such a full circle moment, because for 18 months, 12 to 18 months, it was just behind Harris fencing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We had to look at that ugly Harris fencing every day when we walked in.
Yeah.
And there was just this bit of land that was just fenced off behind, that nothing was happening with. And now all of a sudden to see it really thriving with lots of people and activity and everybody just having a really nice time. Yeah, it was just incredible to see that actually it's come such a long way in relatively a really short space of time.
Turned around really quickly.
Yeah,
it was impressive.
Considering really in April when you started with us, there was nothing there really, was there?
Rock.
Just
rock.
Some mud.
Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously a lot went into sort of perking up the area a bit. I hoed through the really rocky ground and planted wildflower seeds. We could get a bit more of a meadow and increase the biodiversity, which obviously has brought all the butterflies and insects that we've seen this summer, which has been really, really nice. The ground, from what our site used to be, was layered with quite a thick layer of sort of very fine soil and lots of rock, which was completely unsuitable for digging in because even I couldn't get through it, never mind a child. So I brought in my pickaxe from home one day and just
Just a light bit of pickaxing
just
at
a light
work
bit
today.
of pickaxing and cleared an area which is now our digging hole. Just took the top layer off and filled it back in with some soil. So now it's suitable for digging and filling up with water and everything like that. We've got the container, which when I started was crammed full of just about everything that had been dumped in there since we'd moved in.
Yeah, the if in doubt of where to put it.
We'll save it.
We'll put it in the container.
Save it. We might need it one day.
And there was definitely a job that was sort of dreading to be done, but it's all been sorted now, and it's got all the tools hanging up on the walls in their spots for the children. It's got hammocks. It's got all sorts of different stuff. It's got some of my collection of deer skulls and antlers in there for children
Excellent,
to play
of course.
with.
Yeah.
Children like playing with it. It's good fun. And like the outside of the container this summer, we've taken to sort of painting with mud.
I was going to say, you were mud painting on it when I walked past one
Mud
day.
and chalk. And in the last couple of weeks, we had children at the holiday clubs doing cave painting by covering it in mud and then scratching off the mud, letting it dry. They sort of tell stories that they've been doing throughout the day. And it's just, the whole area is obviously, we've got the garden has been sorted out now so we can grow things. The classroom hasn't got loose wire and things stored in there. It's a proper classroom now, a little reading area and lovely tables and chairs and games and all sorts. And we have hammocks and we've got the wishing tree, which was originally when I started, it was
that was one of the first things you did was make us all make a wish and tie our ribbon to the tree.
It was our May tree for May Day back at earlier in the year, and I had the team come out there with me, and we sort of decorated it and hung some ribbons on it and made it look really pretty.
Invite us next year.
Yeah, it was really lovely.
It's got some stones on there. And but it's a good way of, you teach the children, they get to make wishes, and you get to teach them a bit about some of the sort of historical side behind sort of natural based religions and festivals, and just give them a bit of education about the sort of the world around them and what's impacted the world around them, and why certain things grow certain places in this country are based on a whole range of different religions and people that have lived in the country throughout the years. And so it's quite a nice way of learning about the history and our history by learning about the plants.
Learning without actually realising you're learning.
Yeah, and something that we realised the other day that I think we've just been doing but didn't realise we'd been doing until we were doing a piece of work is how sustainable we are, because we were looking at the amount of stuff that we either get donated or that you get a lot of stuff from the local scrap store, which again is donated.
Love the scrap store.
So we are, particularly out in Nature Nook, we are really, really sustainable, but locally sourced sustainable as well.
Nice.
Which I think actually we realised is really important for what we're doing.
Yeah. It's like a happy accident.
A happy accident indeed. But yeah, it was really nice to think actually we're not spending huge amounts of money on sourcing equipment or materials. We're able to do it through
reusing and repurposing.
Yeah, so obviously the Dorset Scrap Store got the new location. It's brilliant. I was going to go on the weekend, but I have plans of going next weekend to get some more stuff for our parties.
You might bump into
do
Kat
love
there.
it.
I often bump into Kat.
I love a forage at the scrap store.
Brilliant place.
Yeah.
Recommend everybody goes. But we also have some local garden centres that are really, really good working with me. And they let us take pallets, as many as we need. So everything that we can to make out of a pallet, I make out of a pallet. Our log shed is built out of pallets and old astroturf from the sensory garden. All the old tables that we had Gem make up, they're really cool, but they were all made out of donated materials.
I feel like there's nothing Gem can't do.
No.
He's great.
Thank goodness for Gem. Our big wood and cotton reels with the astroturf and stuff on, and
that's all been made. Loads of the plants and the seeds and the cabbage.
Donated.
That's all donated by the local. I can't remember the name now, but the local garden centre. They donate things, and it's brilliant because it just means that everything comes from as locally as possible.
And we've got like a year's supply of wood now, haven't we, for your fires?
Yes.
And that came from up to Country Park.
Yeah. So when I was studying, when I worked with the ranger team for a period of time, and they're great people over there, good friends. So I called in a favour with one of them, and they let me go. And where they have trees naturally come down over their really large site, they take them for chipping to put back into their own site, or they'll take it for whatever else they need, stumps for their own little forest school that they've got. But yeah, I called in a favour with the team, who are brilliant over there, and they let me come and take some logs, some lovely dry seasoned oak, and they had some hazel. It was brilliant. And the hazel's great for like whittling wands and stuff. And they're really great people over there, and they just basically helped fill up our log shed, which would have been hundreds of pounds if we had bought the logs. But instead, yeah, they just really helped us out and did us a really big favour. And yeah.
Great. And also love the really casual sentence of, and the hazel that's really good for whittling wands. Like, just to have that knowledge.
Well, Alex
what?
is trying to get us some hazel because we're thinking he might run us the wooden reindeers that you can make.
Yeah.
He would run us a workshop as a craft.
Someone please
workshop.
donate us some hazel.
Yeah, so we need some hazel.
Anyone's got hazel?
If anyone has a hazel tree, then
if anyone's got living whippets of willow and hazel, we're more than happy to take those as well. Because we're looking into the future in the next few months. We've got the Woodland Trust donating trees for our site and hedgerows, so we're going to get those planted in, and that's going to obviously again increase the biodiversity. It's going to be natural corridors for small mammals and stuff, because you always see that buzzard flying around in the evening. So it'll be nice to have some cover for them. We'll have some berries, and we'll have more things for the children to ID and look at and use. And you can teach them folklore behind different things like elder trees and
brilliant,
all sorts of stuff. And
I wish I was a child into the Nature Nook.
Things like hazel, we want to get some young hazels to plant, because when they grow, we can use that as whittling or to make wooden reindeers, and you can teach about
wands, as I've just learned.
You can it means that I'll be able to teach the children sort of classic crafts like hedge laying and coppicing and looking after their trees, and then how like reusing the material. And when we get some willow, we can make like natural willow arches for crops to grow
them. They're
on,
brilliant.
little willow huts and things like that. And so the Nature Nook it's a sort of ever evolving little place.
Yeah, I like that.
And obviously we're still in the sort of first year of big growth for it, and seeing as tis the season to plant trees, where we're looking to get hazel and willow especially, and all the other wonderful stuff that the Woodland Trust is donating to us, and we're going to get it all in. And yeah, hopefully we'll just increase our biodiversity tenfold over the next few months, which will be really, really nice.
I'm really looking forward to watching it grow.
Yeah, it's been an amazing journey so far, and long may it continue.
Yeah. So every episode as well, we have a myth, which I think once again has been well and truly busted through this episode and the last one as well with Dave. A career in social care is only for women. It's definitely not.
Alex's face. I wish we could have caught that.
I know. I actually thought there might have been like your water glass might come flying at me.
No, it's
take cover.
Yeah, no, it's definitely not just for women. We do have loads of great women on the team, and most of our crew are women, I believe. But yeah, no, we're here. We're working hard. We're always.
But I think
more.
It's really important that we've always really get excited when we get a male carer apply for a role, especially in crew, because we've got a lot of young boys who just, if you go to school, chances are a high majority of female teachers, high majority of female carers, and actually boys need to have other male,
see a role model.
Exactly. Yeah. And you guys just play differently than we do. Do you know what I mean? And I think so it's really important that they get that diverse mix. So we get really excited when we get an application form for a male. We're like, yes, come on. And then when they're like, amazing. You're just like, oh,
Just like, is this real?
Yeah. Just never leave. Or leave and come back, Alex. Leave and come back.
Yeah, a good example is so with our stars, which I'm sure people listening know about, which is our sort of sibling youth club that Georgie Taylor runs. She's brilliant. And the other day we were running a Nature Nook session outside for them, just get them outside and playing around. But we had one young man who would only come in if his friend was also coming, but his friend wasn't able to make it that evening. So I went out to the car park, met the young man, sort of explained who I was and that I was going to be running activities. And so very hesitantly, he agreed to come in with his mum. And I got him sat down with me whilst mum sat just outside the Nature Nook. And he decided that in the end, he was more than happy to just stay. And he sort of stayed with me and helped me run the session. And I got him splitting up logs for the fire. And then when we lit the fire later, I gave him all the credit. I said, we wouldn't have had this fire if he hadn't split the wood for us. And it was nice to be able to sort of connect with him quite immediately, because he was obviously missing his male friend, and I was able to sort of fill in that role as one of the male staff members. I was able to just come along, you can help me out, you can be my assistant, you can help out, and everyone can praise you for your ability to light these fires with us.
Your incredible log splitting ability.
Exactly.
Yeah, definitely not an ability I've got.
No. Another myth bust.
Yeah, once again. Well, there we go then. Thank you so much for joining us, Alex. Taking time to be indoors without any trees around you.
Yeah, no worries.
No wildlife. But I think it's been really interesting to find out, especially from where I sit up in my little box, to find out a bit more about what it is you do.
Yeah, of course. More than welcome to come out anytime you want.
My God.
Teach you to cut some logs.
You're going to regret saying that. I'm going to be so annoying.
He won't.
Be like, right, I'm done with social media. Now I'm going to go cut some logs.
Cook some sausages.
Oh, definitely.
Which are good enough for me as well. Let's go.
We can negotiate.
Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of Reasons to Care, the podcast from Diverse Abilities, Dorset's disability charity, all about what it means to work in care.
We'll be back with you again soon, so make sure you subscribe for updates. But in the meantime, don't forget to follow Diverse Abilities on social media. Check out our vacancies at diverseabilities.org.uk/careers. And we'd love it if you could leave a review if you've enjoyed the episode. Bye.